Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to English with Venya, a channel where we level up and never look back. And today's topic is how to be more confident about your English. If you've been learning English for a while and you still struggle with your confidence, this video is for you. How confident you are and how overall comfortable you are with speaking English or with your English plays a really big part in how it comes out and how you're able to communicate. And for us as learners of this language, it's not the easiest thing to accomplish. Of course, some people are just naturally gifted with, this amazing level of confidence in whatever they do, and that is great. And if you're one of them, this might not be a video for you. But if you're just like the rest of us and maybe you're a little bit of a perfectionist and you like things to be on a certain level before you show them off, and that gets in the way of you communicating in English successfully, there are some tips that I want to share with you to make it happen for you over time. And the first thing is mindset. Just remember, what you're doing is an amazing thing, and you're learning this completely different way of expressing yourself that is additional, extra to what you already know. And you know this, it's a lot of work, and it's not the easiest thing to do, so give yourself some credit. If you only focus on the imperfections and the gaps in your English, you're not gonna grow much. You also have to celebrate your wins. Even the smallest ones. I already know this number of phrasal verbs and I already use them. I already know these tenses and I already use them. That's a win and it's a great thing. So focus on the positive and focus on the things that you are able to do as opposed to the things that you can't do yet. The next thing is how you approach your practice sessions. So whenever you practice English with yourself or with a partner, you have to understand that making it perfect is not your goal when you practice. When you practice, your goal is to get all the stupid stuff out. Your goal is to make as many mistakes as possible to get them out of your system. So when you practice with a teacher or someone else or with yourself, your goal is to actually have a horrible, terrible practice session, because that is the only way you can learn. No one will correct your mistakes. A teacher might, a partner might, but the most effective way to correct your mistakes is doing it on your own. When you really notice, when you are aware of the mistakes that you're making, you can actually do the work to correct them. As you learn more English, you discover more mistakes that you make. And if you already got used to making certain mistakes, that is even better because you gain more awareness. And that is the key to actually leveling up and making your English better, taking it to the next level, taking it to the moon. Number 3 is how you present your English. So, 2 examples. Person A, hey, I'm sorry, my English is bad. Hey, I'm sorry, I speak English only a little bit, and then proceeds to talk. And person B just talks, right? When you draw attention to your imperfect English, it makes it harder for you to communicate because now you made it very clear. Now it's out in the open, and now the person you're talking to is going to pay attention to that. So do not put a target on your back. Don't say, I'm sorry for my English. I'm sorry my English is not. Don't apologize for your English before you say something or before you start communicating. That is the number 1 red flag in terms of how you are perceived. If you really draw attention to it, obviously people are nice and polite. They're going to say, oh no, your English is perfect. Don't even worry about it. But in the back of their mind, they're going to really listen to all of those little mistakes that you make. But if you don't say anything about it, chances are they're not even going to notice, because native speakers make mistakes too. And guess what? It does not really stop them from communicating successfully or, conveying the message they're trying to convey. So don't put a target on your back. The next one is getting really familiar with your own English. And you can only do that by hearing yourself talk a lot. And, a good way to do that is when you're reading something, read it out loud. Record yourself when you're saying something or doing just a regular speaking practice and listen back, you really want to get used to hearing yourself speak English and getting used to your own English, because it's kind of like a performance. If you go on stage right now without any rehearsals, you don't know what's gonna happen. It could all go wrong easily. But if you have 10, 20, 30 rehearsals before you go on stage, you have a better idea of how your performance is gonna go and how it's gonna come out, because you've practiced it enough. You've been exposed to what you have to do and, you know, the lines and the script way more. So less surprises tend to happen, and that's what we want. So make sure you really get familiar with your own English and your voice and the way it sounds. You know exactly how it's gonna come out because you've heard it a million times before. And of course, very cheesy, but have fun with it. When you're practicing or learning English, make sure you do it in enjoyable ways. Make sure you're watching your favorite shows or movies. Make sure you're listening to your favorite podcasts and reading your favorite books and talking about the things that you are passionate about, because love and passion is the #1 thing that helps you forget about all of your nerves and being shy and all of that fear and insecurities. Trust me, I've been there and I've done it, and if I was able to do it, you can definitely do it too. So get out there and be confident and be proud of everything that you were able to accomplish thus far. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, it doesn't matter if you're intermediate or advanced. It does not matter, because you have accomplishments and you have accomplished some things already. So be proud of that, and every time you speak English or practice English, make it a celebration of the things that you were able to achieve and not some kind of punishment or, you know, something like that. All of these things that I shared with you today in this video, I used them myself. I literally used them all on myself, and it really worked. So I really hope you stick to these tips and actively practice all of them, and that is the way to level up and never look back. See you in the next one, and of course, drop your video suggestions down below. I'll be waiting. Peace.